The Europa League is back. But what the hell was that? Listen, I got something to say, people. This is your Neeks Sports Europa League last 32 review. Boy, what do I even say about that? What do I even say about that? Arsenal lose in the last 32 of the Europa League to BATE Borisov from Belarus. Alright, cool. So, I mean, wow. If you lot that have seen the podcast, you would have seen me predict Arsenal to win this game against BATE Borisov 3-0. Shout out to you lot that have seen the podcast. If you haven't, go back and check it out. I think Neeks said 3-1 to Arsenal. We've just lost 1-0. We just lost 1-0 to BATE Borisov out in Belarus. We couldn't even get an away goal against BATE Borisov. Now, let's get into this. Performance-wise, I'm not surprised. Said this again on the podcast. We've been poor lately. We were poor against Huddersfield. We were poor against Cardiff. We were poor against Man City. We've poor against Manchester United in the Cup. We've been poor for a few weeks still. This ain't been a good few weeks for Arsenal. And today, performance was just as bad. Which, if not, this is probably the worst out of all of them, but not much worse than how I've seen us play. I looked at the game thinking, yeah, we played the same way against Huddersfield and snuck a 2-1 win. Came home with a 2-1 win. Today, sloppy. How many times passes just go into the wrong man? Time and time and time again, Arsenal. I mean, the pitch was shambolic. But our performance was worse than that pitch. If the pitch was shambolic, our performance was absolutely dreadful. So I'm not blaming the pitch before you don't get onto me. But what I'm trying to say is how bad that performance was from Arsenal. Could have taken a lead in the first, minute and a half? Mkhitaryan has a chance, keeper makes a decent save. I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? Alright, cool. Started on the front foot. Look, players you need to go on. He went with Lacazette, Iwobi and Mickey again. Same front three that beat Huddersfield. I'm thinking, yeah, cool. All right, Aubameyang's on the bench. It's not even a problem. I'm not even worried for a second looking at that lineup. I don't care if Mesut and Ramsey ain't in the squad. It's calm. I looked at that team sheet. I thought, actually, you know what? Emery's gone strong. Emery wants to wrap this up by the time we get to next week's game. Monreal concedes a free kick. Ball's whipped in. And Dragon, I think his name is, he jumps over Kolasinac and heads it past Czech. And it's 1-0. And it's on the edge of half-time. And already the first half is sloppy anyway. Passes not going to each other. Mickey missed the early chance. Lacazette missed the header, which he probably should have done a lot better with. And I'm thinking, all right, we'll go second half and go again. But couldn't even get to half-time with a clean sheet. We ain't conceding in 5 Europa League games. We went through the whole group stage is pretty much keeping a clean sheet in every game. It's about the only competition we did do well keeping a clean sheet. And in the Premier League, we don't even concede from set pieces. Now all of a sudden, a simple ball in. Kolasinac gets out jumped. Ball past Czech, 1-0 down. Poor. Like poor. Everyone in that team just poor. Okay, cool. Half time, I'm thinking, yeah, you know, Emery, he does this, innit? How many times this season have we seen Arsenal go down early on in games and come back? Nothing. Minor. Cool. Time to step up the intensity, Arsenal. I know you're away from home, but it's BATE Borisov. We're in Belarus, bruv. Belarus. Alexander Hleb is on the pitch. Alexander Hleb is on the pitch. We sold him about 10 years ago to Barcelona. I don't even know my man was still playing football until I see him play against Chelsea a few months ago. He lost 58 minutes. Haleb comes off the pitch at 58 minutes thinking, job done. I'm beating Arsenal 1-0. My man played in the Champions League final for us in 2000. Oh my God. Alright, cool. So Haleb goes off. 60 minutes gone. I'm thinking, alright, come on. Ball gets whipped in. Lacazette puts the ball in the net. Offside. Alright, cool. It's offside, isn't it? Momentum now. Let's do this. Let's step up the game. We just had a goal ruled out for offside. Let's, up the momentum. Let's get the win. Passes are being sloppy. Guendouzi can't find his man. Torreira can't find his man. Lacazette is struggling to get the ball, struggling to make runs. It's just everything was going from side to side. It's like old Arsenal again, where you don't even know how to attack the team. Every run we make, poor. Every challenge we make, poor. And I'm thinking, all right, 70 minutes gone. Or gone. Like, you're going to score or not? Or not? So, Emery's like, cool. And he looks at the bench, throws on Aubameyang, Torreira, and Denis Suarez. And it's game on. Like, go, let's go for it now. Let's at least, okay, we're losing 1-0. Let's score a goal. Let's get the away goal to take back to the Emirates and say, okay, cool. Poor performance, we got the away goal. I swear to you lot, it was worse when Aubameyang, Torreira and Suarez came on. Like, it was worse. We played worse than we were already playing in that game. Nothing was going through anyone. We had the possession. BATE Borisov sat back. Of course you expect them to. And we could no creativity in that team to break them down. None. Like nothing was working. Torreira's banging a shot from 40 yards to try and score amazing equaliser with a few minutes to go. It's like, come on. Simple. Just keep it simple. Work the ball into the box. Put the ball into the back of the net. It's BATE Borisov. And then you're thinking, all right, cool. Well, 1-0 down. What's the worst that can happen? Lacazette gets the ball. He turns past his man. My man's holding Lacazette, holding Lacazette. Referee don't want to say nothing. Lacazette's obviously getting vexed. He tried to push man off, flings an arm back, catches man in the face. I'm thinking, he's going to go. You know when you sit there and you're watching the game, you're thinking, nah, he's gone. He's like, mate, just end it now. Referee runs over, red card's in his hand from early, bam, later. Lacazette turns, and he knows, it's one of them ones, where I feel sorry for Lacazette in that, because he was getting held 5 minutes ago. We're obviously rushing to get the win, but you just got to show a bit of composure in yourself. I know this was, Neeks glossed over the Pogba incident on Tuesday when he was reckless in his challenge on Dani Alves and got sent off against Manchester United because he lost his head. Man United losing. Similar sort of thing. Arsenal losing. Lacazette getting frustrated because he's getting held back. And he tries to get a man off him, but obviously his hands flailing in the air. Catches him on the elbow to the face. Obviously my man goes down, holding his head. Filipovic. And ref has no alternative. Has to send him off. Lacazette walks. Suspended for the second leg. Maybe even additional games if UEFA decide so, because it was violent conduct. And we lose the game 1-0. BATE Borisov. We've lost the BATE Borisov. And it's mad because I said on the podcast, I'm looking forward to Europa League because we just won against Huddersfield. If we beaten BATE Borisov today, which I expected us to do, and beaten them next week, which I expected us to do, then we got Southampton and Bournemouth in the Premier League game. We could be going into the Spurs Man United game with 5 wins on the bounce. But we lost to BATE Borisov in Belarus against Hleb and them man there. But some of them Belarus players support Arsenal because of Hleb. Like we have fans in Belarus called the Belarus Gooners because of Hleb, who played for Arsenal. Them man are our fans, and we let our fans beat us. We let our own fans beat us. Poor. Anyway, I'm just glad I'm not there, to be fair. Because them man got some long road trip to come back from. And I feel sorry for them fans. They travel all the way to Belarus to watch the team get spanked. It's poor. It's poor from us. It's poor from the squad. It's poor from the team. I can't even fault the team Emery put out. The tactic Emery played. 5 at the back. I mean, you could argue why we're getting 5 at the back against Malmo. But forget tactics because you're playing... Sorry, not Malmo. BATE. It's BATE Borisov. BATE Borisov. And man, I was trying to say about tactics. No, not forget tactics. We lost to BATE Borisov because we were trash. We've been playing trash for the past month and got what we deserved. Deserved to lose today. Obviously, you got to pick this up next week, man. And listen, I'm confident we're going to go through, innit? At the Emirates. No Laka, which means Aubameyang has to start. And everyone else full strength. He might even go with Leno. I don't know. Well, Czech wasn't at fault today, but he might just think, you know what, let's go right. I don't know what he's going to do, but we lost to BATE Borisov. So, man, have to come out next week and do the job. Imagine we concede on a sloppy one to BATE. Imagine we'll be 2-0 down and an away goal concede. We have to score 3 goals. Like, I'm not saying we can't score 3 goals, but if we banged them 6-0 at the Emirates last year under Wenger, 6-0 at the Emirates. It's mad. We need a reaction now. We need a reaction now. Because swear to God, if we go out to BATE Borisov in the last 32, we don't deserve to be in Champions League football. If we lose to BATE Borisov in the last 32 of the Europa League, we don't deserve it. Kick us out. Like, we don't deserve to be in it. We'll be playing it next year. Poor. We have to step up. We've got a week off now. No game until next Thursday. We've got to step up the game. This is Europa League review. It's not just an Arsenal rant. So, Chelsea played today as well. Against Malmo. I watched that game as well. And, they got a reaction after their thumping 6-0 defeat to Man City last week. Played better. Sloppy to start. But Ross Barkley scored. Pedro's ball in. Good ball. Lucky 3 touches from Barkley. He didn't really control it great, but it kind of just dropped nicely for him, so he was able to toe poke it into the back of the net. 1-0 Chelsea. And for the rest of the half, they looked pretty comfortable, to be fair. It looked like it was going to be a rout for Chelsea, really, if they could just put their chances away. William had a half chance in the first half as well. So they were cruising. Came in the second half, and again, same intensity. They basically had what Arsenal didn't have. You know, when Barkley got that goal, I just thought, that's all we needed, just that goal. Just to lift us. 1-0 up, we got an away goal, calm. But anyway, Barkley got the goal for Chelsea, 1-0. And then in the second half, Chelsea pretty much wrapped up the tie, I would have thought. Ball comes back to Willian. And it's mad because in my head I'm thinking Willian's going to try and cut top bins, right foot. You know Willian, he's got that. But the defender did quite well, actually, because he pushed him onto his left foot. But Williams is a class player, of course. He doesn't mind. He went onto his left foot, got the ball across, and in typical Olivier Giroud fashion, back heel into the back of the net. And that is 2-0 Chelsea. And pretty much good night Malmo, to be fair. Olivier Giroud scoring a goal in Europa League. He loves this competition. He scored bare times for us last year. And I think I'm right in saying that's his 5th goal in 6 games for Chelsea in Europa League this season. So he's, been a second string player for Chelsea, but he deserves, like, it's working for Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Morata wasn't banging. They got in Higuain, and they got someone like Giroud who can put the ball in the back of the net in Europa League. What we had last year, and clearly what we ain't got this year, innit? And apparently Olivier Giroud, I got a stat. He's the first Chelsea player to score in 4 successive games in the European competition since Victor Moses in May 2013, a year which they won the Europa League. Is that an omen? I actually predicted at the start of the season that Chelsea would win Europa League, and Arsenal were going to finish in the top 4. So we all get into the Champions League, and it's all lovey dovey. But I mean, before today, I would have said Europa League might be easier to qualify. It's like every game we play, Arsenal are trying to tell me which competition's harder. Winning Europa League or finishing the top 4, because we're playing poor in the league, scraping through. We're playing poor in the Europa League, losing. It's mad. It's actually mad. Sorry, but I'm in a Chelsea game, innit? And then this was actually quite interesting in that game because Hazard came on, done his thing, had a little run around, and then N'Golo Kante, he was rested for this game, or dropped, you might say. He came on in the second half, and he came on for Jorginho, which I thought was a very interesting move from Sarri, considering he's got some tough games coming up. Manchester United in the FA Cup, Manchester City in the League Cup final. And Kante doesn't even go in DM. So, N'Golo Kante is the best DM in the world. You play Jorginho there. You play him CM in the league. You rest Kante. You bring him on for Jorginho. And Kovacic goes to DM. You put Kante in CM. Sorry, you're on a joke. You're on a joke right now. Put the man in his position. He's a DM. He's a defensive midfielder. And then what happens? Sorry. Imagine Malmo catch Chelsea on a counter-attack. They start running towards the goal. Good ball into Christensen. Not the Chelsea Christensen, a Malmo Christensen. And he scores. And who's he running through to score the goal? Who's he running past? Who can't catch up with him? Kovacic. Because Kovacic is in DM and Kante, just coming on, is in CM. Sorry? It's simple. Put Kante in DM, man. Stop trying to be all funny, man. You're playing Manchester United next week. You're playing Man City the week after. You do that against them, it's lights out. It's 6-0, 6-0 all over the place. So you need to watch out for that. Anyway, Christian scores. Malmo crowd go mad because they get their goal. And it ends 2-1 to Chelsea. You expect Chelsea to qualify through that anyway. Two away goals. And obviously a goal conceded away. So they'll bring them back to the bridge next week. I feel like I said, with Man United and Man City to come, probably going to be a second string again in this game. Especially League Cup finals, 3 days afterwards. So I expect a full-on rested team there because with 2 away goals, you're practically 3-0 up anyway. So, I can't see Malmo scoring 2 away goals without reply at the bridge. So, I'm going out on my heels, and I'm saying Chelsea are going to go through to the last 16 after that victory today. And see everyone else done their job. Inter Milan won 1-0. Who else won? Napoli won their game as well. Man are just going out there, doing their job, scoring their away goals, and getting through. Napoli won 3-1 against Zurich. Insigne, Callejon, and Zelensky with a goal conceded late on for Napoli. 3 away goals, you go through. Simple. Celtic looks to be crashing out. Brendan Rodgers' team lost 2-0 to Valencia. Cheryshev and Sorbinho scoring for Valencia. So that should see them through. And then I bet they're looking at the results saying, you know what? Arsenal go out the Europa League. You're making it easier for us. Valencia, Inter, Napoli, Sevilla is there as well. So, yeah. Arsenal lose to BATE Borisov. And we're worse than the pitch. I'm out of here, man. Happy Valentine's Day, people.